Action forZe on the T side and North on that CT side. We'll have to see strategically how it looks from the get-go, and it looks like it may be rather explosive. Quite literally, as that door is going to be sent flying, and AZ also will have to back away from the initial engagement.
Indeed. Shots being exchanged quick into a 3-on-3 here in this upper bomb site. Gage still surviving behind the default location, trying his damnedest to put some bullets out there. Eventually is going to send one down range the right way onto Almazer, but KRB and Cage and B will be the ones cleaning things up in the end. Still a victory for North nonetheless. A little bit chaotic. I mean, it was a little bit dicey. The bomb actually did get planted and all of that, but North do lock it up.
One of the things I do like about, and it's actually, it can be, I guess, a pretty contentious point here, but something I do like is that the fact that you do have this, $1,900 instead of the typical $1,400, that change if you lose the first round specifically. And with the extra $800 for each team member after the bomb plant, I like the options that a team like forZe has here. They have a force buy option which is very deadly, and it keeps things spicy, I would say. And we're going to see them actually going for this force buy. The single AK has been collected onto Flit. Lost the utility. Mac 10s. It's going to be a fast round here. Oh dear, I'm not sure what's going on there with the door, but it looks like AZ will get down the vent. So he's going to be there to block any fast approaches down the vent, but there is not to be any, it seems. And Cage and B and KRB are able to defend, meanwhile, towards ramp. And forZe are not getting any traction with this buy.
It doesn't seem that way. Flit is going to be able to control ramp room just a bit, but they're still down the numbers. That is the real problem. We're waiting to see what they want to do with these remaining 3 players, particularly since one of them is going to be very low HP. That's Jerry with 12. Flit trying to see if he can make a maneuver into the heaven area, but is to no avail. KRB is going to be able to pick that thing up. So it's all on Z-Power and Jerry. Bomb in a very precarious spot where Z-Power will have to force his way through to see if he can't pick it up. KRB, though, of course, is going to have that angle locked down. MSL has mostly everything else covered as well here. So it is going to be another round the way of North, and they didn't really even lose much in the process. So that is always nice.
Yeah, what a great result. Those rounds can be extremely dangerous. You're going in there as forZe with the element of surprise. They don't know that you've gone for this force buy. They know it's possible, but they don't know. You get to play a fast round. It could have lots of utility to, force the CTs off of position, block their line of sight to the defense. It can cause all kinds of problems, but they hold on, and forZe will be kept at bay this time. Just a few deagles, a scout there to at least try to keep the CT economy honest, but given that there was no damage in the previous round, forZe really need a result here in terms of at least 2 or 3 kills. That would really be ideal to make up for the previous round.
Certainly. Deagles and Scout out there certainly can pose a little bit of a threat to North, so they are going to have to be careful, but still certainly have a massive advantage going into this one. Trying to see if they can get that ever-coveted 3-0 start. You love to have those, especially on your CT side of Nuke in particular. KRB is spotting a couple players here towards outside. He's done a little bit of gunfire, but not a lot of damage. In fact, he's the one that's been receiving the blunt of the blows over there. MSL trying to come over and assist him with the Scout.
Just prodding, poking outside. forZe not getting anything just yet. You've got to be careful if you're the CT side. These deagles can be problematic. MSL with the Scout, though, will get some damage out there as forZe still looking for those deagle kills.
It's a toughie. There's no smoke for the cross outside, right? So, I mean, it's kind of just a shooting gallery at this point. And that's all she wrote, Dan. I don't see a whole lot happening here.
Beautiful from AZ. Trying to finish it off with the HE, and it's MSL to do so. AZ again, I feel like we could see a really big resurgence from him this year. If everything goes according to plan in terms of the way MSL rebuilds this team, AZ is somebody that has an insanely high skill ceiling. We just don't tend to see it too often, and that's unfortunate.
Yeah, I think they're trying to put him in that role at least. I don't know about Nuke, but on other maps I was watching demos for, it seemed like they had him paired up with Gade as kind of an entry duo, and they were trying to let AZ be that main trade fragger, that main secondary guy, to give him like a star role. So we'll have to see if that happens. As KRB's actually taken over all of Valda's old roles. So Valda has changed his role for now the 3,000th time since he's been on North. Maybe it'll work out this time. We'll have to see. So far, so good for North. We can say that on Nuke.
And you can see the smokes forced out, the repositioning forced out into North, whereby they have to respect the fact that forZe have threatened outside. They don't know how many people are going down secret. They have to drop the smokes. They have to fall back a little bit. See Gade here having to hold down 2 positions. He does, of course, have a man behind CT vent, so they can play like a bait setup there.
Right.
And that's important, but ultimately, a minute left, and forZe have actually gained a lot of ground. They've done well here with their time.
Yeah, it's still plenty on the clock, and they do have access now to those back halls into the lower bomb site. AZ playing position here. Very nice headshot on to face crack, and he's looking to crack more faces himself here as Flit is presenting himself. Just not able to quite line the mark up just yet, but that grenade is going to do some real damage to Jerry.
Oh dear, AZ's mad. He's doing a lot of damage here. Jerry put into a very desperate situation. He'll run to his doom. And another round for North, and it's kind of appearing similar to that Genji face-off that we just had, whereby Genji's opposition in Ends couldn't really. They could kind of get the defaults going, but they can never get that last step, that final phase of the round where you convert the map control you've gained from the default into a bomb site take. We're struggling so far to see forZe do that, but it is still early.
Certainly true, and now they'll be back to basics here, just the pistols and a couple of MAC-10s. They do have armor and a little bit of utility behind it. One for like one quick go, basically, and look at that. It is indeed going to be the fast play over towards Upper. FaceCrack with the entry, Z-Power and company as well pitching in. It's now just Cajun B and Kierby left, actually. FaceCrack has just gone on a tear this round, and somehow, some way, man, in the blink of an eye, they locked that one up.
Yeah, that's pretty intense. It's just like running through Mini like a madman with the Smack 10, just instantly killing AZ. That just, you can see just the collapse there, like a house of cards, like a load-bearing pillar just removed, everything collapsing down around it. Just not ready for that fast pace, catching it completely off balance. And that's the end that forZe needed. And we can see that all the money pretty much is going to get spent here for North. They hadn't really built up just that much just yet. The auto shotgun comes out from Gade. That could be quite fun.
Yep, this is the one map where you will see that weapon come out on the CT side. Actually, a fair amount. So we'll see if it gets good use this round. It's kind of odd. Like, they just didn't have any utility on Hut to stop a fast play, which the CTs seem to have enough economy to be able to put those smokes and scenarios down, but they just didn't. And so not only did they get the mini sneak in so fast, but it also allowed other players to kind of come out in all the madness without any utility stopping them. Meanwhile, though, this round, MSL has gotten a pick on FaceCrack with AWP. I don't think outside was quite smoked off enough all the way, so he was able to catch a kill through some type of gap or something.
AC Power with the AWP, that's definitely the gun for the job there. He's got that right eye peek against the left eye peek of his opponent, so he gets a small advantage, and on top of that, the AWP on a walk angle is certainly favorable. So, well done by forZe, having the right man there for doing the right job. And look at the repositioning here. See Power now on the outside, quick rotation from him. And 40 seconds to go, and forZe need to now find a way in. They've got the picks, it's all very cool, but they've got to make their way to the fight now.
It's tough. They don't have those outside smokes to cross. So MSL is just having free reign, catching players trying to get to the stairs, and now Kierby as well, no threat to his back on the sneaky door side, able to focus down himself on outside. And I feel like it's just key pieces of utility being missing here. Like, they can't even run anything because they can't even get started.
Yeah, and AZ, he's been so good in these headshot positions. He's delivering time and again. And yeah, they didn't have any smokes remaining, and it's a really difficult position to be in when you don't have any ground. You're like, well, we got no smokes, so that's cool, I guess. And it was the right rotation as well from MSL. You can see him; he was playing down towards Hell, towards the lockers, and it could have just been the case that he would have been rotated elsewhere, and maybe he would have missed that cross. But he's in the right place. They had a good read.
It's like it's one of those things where it's like a necessity smoke. I liken it to smoking off CT spawn when you're attacking Banana on Inferno. It's one of those smokes that you just gotta have, and if you don't have it, you can't really go for it. You have to hope that someone misses, and you never want to put yourself in a situation where you have to hope that someone's missing or not there at all. It's just really, really tough to count on that, and it certainly cost forZe in that round.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if there are changes, if they can find adjustments so they can make more bigger moves in the mid round and really capitalize, because they did create a good spot for themselves. But into the next one we go, where we see it's not the best buy in the world. We'll have the outside smokes, or at least something resembling it. There is a gap actually, which is a huge problem. There can't really be this gap. That's a massive gap actually. It's not just, it's a chasm. Oh dear. There's the second smoke.
Big gap.
well, still a gap.
I think we didn't see it on stream, but I'm thinking that there's some type of incendiary North is using to mess up their outside smoke wall, which is a very Danish thing to do. So maybe we can catch that in a different round, but I think that's what they're doing. I think that's what's causing forZe a lot of problems.
What's in the meta right now at the top level is that the Ts will put the smoke in front of Secret, but not do that smoke between that smoke and the T-Red container. And then when they get close to the T-Red container, they'll just like throw it straight on so that they can avoid what you're talking about, where the CTs, as you say, throw that fast incendiary that's designed to force a gap.
But when you're not using a consistent lineup, you run into those problems with the gaps, and that's really hurt them a lot.
Definitely issues. Crazy, man. He's unstoppable, immovable from this position. Once again, getting himself 2 kills. True, he is a problem in that position, and there is a quick burst in the upper bomb site. MSL will shoot a dead body of his, a teammate model as well. So I don't know what the science is.
It's raining men on AZ right there in the vent. So it's getting wild with these dead players. Nonetheless, we do have a 2v4 post plant. I'm not liking their chances, Dan.
But there is a chance. There's a will, there's a way. Although now it's just down. Never mind.
It's over.
Never mind. It's all over. We'll forget it even happens.
But that's wild. MSL just shot a dead teammate. Fair enough.
Cool, man. She's just
can never be too sure.
So it's, I mean, off to an absolutely just amazing start here for North. Everything has gone their way. Nothing that forZe have really done has worked out, except the one round that they got was catching North off balance with a fast timing attack with Mach 10s. That's not replicable. That's not something you can rely on as an approach to winning rounds. So it's a round, but it's a problem. It's a huge problem for forZe. They will have extra power outside at this point, looking for any peaks.
It's looking very similar to when North played Heroic in Leipzig. They got 12 rounds in their CT side in the first half of that game and were able to skate away with the victory in that best of 3. And it's kind of shaping up that way here as well thus far. We'll see if forZe can have a different conclusion than the Heroic boys. Seeing them lining up some smokes here outside. Perhaps looking to do some type of upper take. They do have the Molotov for top hut as well. So they want to try to explode here on upper. There is no utility in their face yet, but as soon as it starts pouring in, Gade and company do have the nades and folks they need to maybe put a stop to it.
Gade is not on fire though, so this could be a problem, but he will be taken down by the split. AZ though, by CT Vent trying to do what he can, but Kirby's gonna have to swing in to make up for the lack of damage that was done by the A bomb site defenders. And now Cajun B is perhaps left with too much weight to lift, and he may have to give this one up, but he looks interested in doing some exit damage, which would be quite smart considering that the economy of the T side is very weak, and he can compound that problem for them, and his risk is not that huge, given that their economy, the CT's economy, is pretty decent. That said, you never want to give away a Krieg, you never want to give up a Krieg on the CT side, especially on a map like this. The Kriegs are so good.
Finally, forZe finding some success. After a few rounds off and after a hot start from North. It looked like at first it might not work out. I think their Molotov top hut actually missed, as we were talking about, but...
It seemed to go on the catwalk.
Maybe they were thinking someone would be there instead. Either way, they were able to get their trades into the upper site just fine.
That is painful. 2 exit kills there. That actually really hurts the economy of forZe. Well played, well played.
Lots of rebind taking place here for forZe. They do have some type of technical timeout that's come in, I believe. So a little bit of a halt to play, Dan.
Yeah, I mean, I think right now what's been interesting for forZe is, well, for North that is that they've been proving that they can hold any slow defaults, any situations where, you know, the typical map control plays are coming through from the forZe side. North seem pretty well equipped in dealing with it. They slow it down, they reposition, they pick up their kills, respectively. It's only the rushes and the set piece now that forZe have found success with. So they're still in a desperate position, I'd say.
Indeed, this time the fire is going to land top hut and push the CT off. Gade, though, looking to actually push through a challenge. Finds the headshot on the Almazer. That was a well-done play. It evens things back up after the initial entry from the T side. But now Jerry and Facecrack are really starting to leverage their position in this round. They've gotten the edge right back, and MSL just gets caught blindsided. It's all on Cajun being the 1v2 now. He's got 1 kill to his name. Make that 2. but would need to find the quad to get the victory. I think he actually did have the bomb down towards himself in lobby, but he's kind of giving it up. Doesn't want to just be worried about being backstabbed from ramp, or there's so many angles he has to worry about, but he does have that bomb, and that is a big problem for forZe.
It's all about timing here. In a situation like this, neither team knowing where the other players are. cajunb, that's a lot of information, seeing that molly come through, and he hears the stepping too. This is brilliant for cajunb. He's got the advantage, gets the first kill. One more player to find. 40 seconds left, plenty of time for FaZe to slow play this if he wants. If he wants to reset it, he can. But he goes for the push around the corner, just barely missing cajunb, but he has made his way towards the spot where he can plant now. And cajunb, again, he can be absolutely anywhere as far as FaZe is concerned. Here comes the peak. cajunb set it up, but he can't land the shot. Very unfortunate. I feel like cajunb played that so well for FaZe as well. Great read. He looks for that spot, and he is rewarded. Great stuff there. What a clutch to win.
Oh my goodness, that's so tough to watch because cajunb played it so well throughout every step of that process. He just didn't happen to land the very last shot he needed. I feel like everyone was rooting for cajunb at that point just because of how much he accomplished on his way there, but in the end, Counter-Strike doesn't care about your feelings. It's going to be 6-3 for forZe. Great job by FaZe to salvage the round after a round that they were kind of ahead in most of the way through. Do eventually finish it off even after some struggles on that journey. So keeping the game close. They've now won the last 2 in a row, and they've won the last 3 out of 5. So it's like that 4-0 start from North, and now it's starting to even up a little bit.
Well, we're in for it seems like a turning point to the match here. North looking so dominant, but cracks have shown, and forZe has shattered the armor. And now they are taking control. However, we've seen rounds like this be problematic at the best of times. So we'll see how forZe handle it. Lots of pistols there to do some damage. Flip with the MAC-10. It's the tool for the job. No one has a helmet, so that makes the MAC-10 even better.
Absolutely.
And forZe really giving a lot of respect to North here, just waiting things out a little bit.
Yep, all is quiet thus far, but in the meantime, Jerry is getting so much control of the map, can clear in the entirety of outside. He's going to be able to backstab heaven. I think he even spotted a player over towards Mini. So he's getting a lot of intel, even if they're not necessarily doing anything just yet. They're setting up very nicely, and so there is the kill onto KRB. Here comes the push into the upper bomb site. cajunb engaged, able to find a couple, but not enough to pose a real threat. It's all going to be on cajunb. No armor, but he does have the SG in his hands. There are one player at least that's quite low on HP, but not going to come into the equation. 6-4 now, so forZe is starting to chip away at this.
It is happening. And I have to say it's surprising. It seems, again, I mean, in Counter-Strike, one of the interesting things is that you don't necessarily have to have, let's say, amazing defaults and amazing answers to everything. It's just winning the right scenarios, the right situations. And forZe have actually managed to do that. To break the economy of North, but North are back in it with the buy. A bit more aggressive here from KRB outside around the T-Red container, looking to cause some damage to create some opportunities here for North. Because the MSL sniping the angle. He'll try to take contact first so that KRB has a distraction to play off of. The smokes dissipate, and KRB's looking for that flag. Great transfer from KRB. He gets himself too. And not just that, he gains information, key information. Now North know where those 2 other players are. The bomb was spotted as well. And that's really annoying for forZe because they know that right now that all of North know exactly where they are, and likely by that notion, what they're trying to do as well.
Yeah, it's so tough. I feel like outside has been a real problem for forZe, whether it be the smoke wall issues with gaps or just a smoke not being there at all, getting picked off by KRB or MSL and the cross towards outside. That has been something that's haunted them several different times throughout this half. Now, this round, they actually do get a player into lower with a jump run boost. They still, though, find themselves a man down as we approach the latter stages of this round. 43 seconds left here on the clock. Still not really sure what forZe want to do at this point. Again, they do have some presence towards lower, but Almauser is still at lobby, and they still have one player just kind of drifting in a more passive position outside. So, again, I'm not really sure what their game plan is just yet, but they need to figure out something fast. Time is running low now.
Easy with a pretty strong position here. The molly will not go to him either, so still remains very strong. Gate is the bait. AZ is still in that squeaky position by the vent. Ready to strike, but there's no one coming in for all them. And there it is, the switch is down to lower, and almost a chance for KGB there as MSL turns his attention to the wrong location, just barely with the shot. And the trade is through from Almeza. Gade stops the plant upper, there's no time, my God, Gade slow played it, and it worked out perfectly. So much confusion for both sides, I think, in those situations, but North barely scraped by to come out on top.
Indeed, they're doing great work right here so far. forZe coming into this game trying to snap a 3-game losing streak on Nuke. They lost all 3 of their Nuke games at Epicenter, 2 to EG, 1 to Heroic, but historically still a map that they've usually been quite good on. They've had their issues, though, so far on this T side. It must be said, particularly outside has been a real, thing that they haven't been able to tackle just yet. Maybe this is the round. Smokes are out. This time there is no real stopping them. They do get into lower. Finally.
Yeah. However, Kirby heard the pitter-patter of many T steps, many T feet running across towards the secret stairs. And so there is a lot of information here for the north side. And they've stopped it dead with a smoke. And this now creates some spots where they can try to investigate outside. Do they see a double back from the T players that they know are down the secret position? And forZe, do they feel committed at this point? Big nade going forwards. How much damage? Okay, chunky damage to face crack and to flit.
Yep.
And AZ repositions.
That was a thick boy nade, that is for sure. Smoke slowed down forZe a little bit here, but then they're starting to get into these vents and into the back halls and looking to really attack. And they even had the option to still maybe try to go for upper. That would be interesting. They have to funnel a lot of players through ladder to actually make their way to upper from where they're positioned now, but we'll just have to wait and see. Time is ticking. They are just kind of biding it, waiting to see if North will show themselves anywhere. But so far, everyone's holding firm, but they do decide to use a smoke to get up the vent and into the upper site. But Gade so far has been up to the task. He's found 2, not quite a third, but he's bought some time.
Gade did really well there, that is for sure. I could really see him getting very surprised in that position, but he handles it so well. 2 kills, a little bit of delay, a 4v3 retake here. There is not a huge amount of CT utility remaining at this point, so that could be a problem. You'd really love a molly here, but KGB with the big flashbang. How good is this flashbang going to be as they will burst through down from the heaven position? MSL and Kirby taking lives here. There's nothing left standing for forZe. They got completely devastated by that push. Excellent stuff from North on the retake.
Yeah, a lot of credit, though, to Gade. Those initial 2 kills were so massive. Again, not only is he getting his team a mana advantage, but he's buying time for rotations, people to reposition, set up utility for the retake itself. And North have been on an absolute tear this game, up 8-4 now. They've won the last couple in a row. They, of course, had that really big start where they were up 6-1. That really helped them, obviously. We've seen some recovery from forZe. The problem is, it's only come in bits and pieces. They haven't been able to string together many rounds in a row, and their economy, because of that, has suffered. Even a round that they won earlier, KGB got those big exit kills. So they've dealt with a lot of different types of problems throughout this game, and once again, the smoke wall outside's not there.
Indeed. And just looking quite desperate getting into the upper bomb site. They are being halted. But I can't even, well, barely able to get out of the hut position before getting eliminated. And another round going to North. So it looked like, again, that forZe had won the right rounds. They destabilized North, but we're seeing that difficulty in their defaults coming through once again. They don't quite have the oomph after they get that map control in how they actually finish the round. And it seems to be plaguing them here as North once again.
And the problem is now the utility there for North pretty much prevents you from doing any type of fast upper plays. You're going to get stalled out by incendiaries or smokes or take a lot of utility damage. Look at MSL, though. He's changing things up. He's looking to get in a forward position towards outside. He's got KRB with him as well. And they are striking some damage. Unfortunately, MSL misses that op stop, though, but able to get a nade and then re-peek and find the frag nonetheless. And that's a quick 5-on-3 for North. That's a nightmare if you're forZe. Not only have you struggled outside all game long just being able to smoke your way to stairs, but now you're taking casualties before you even get to red.
Yeah, oh, it just kills it, doesn't it? So difficult on this map. Just the way that the rotations work for the CTs is so hard. It's like train. It's like the CTs can just be everywhere. And Power trying to get... I mean, that's such an unfavorable angle, and I think he knows it. I think that's just a show of desperation to try to go for that, as forZe are left with 2 players now, Jerry and Almeza, working on the ramp position. They do have the bomb in their possession, so that is something, I suppose, as they make their way down to the lower bomb side. The only option afforded them by North's movement, and AZ knows about it, picks up the kill onto Almeza as he goes through control, and Jerry, he can't plant safely. There is this corner to work from, but you can see there's that smoke in there just in time, but the spray comes through, forced into the open, nowhere to go, and forZe will concede another round. They at least get the bomb planted, but at this point, dust. It doesn't seem like that is any consolation.
No, it's really not. It's just been a clinic from North. I mean, AZ has been just an absolute giant on guarding that lower bomb site, and then you've seen MSL and KRB really be that tag team duo that defends all the different outside types of pushes, and those are the three best fraggers in the server right now, actually. So that really just kind of tells the story. 10-4 for North. They've won the last 4 in a row, plus they had the first 4 rounds of the half, so they're going to open strong and seemingly finish strong this half. Timeout comes out from forZe. This is their second timeout they've taken this half. Can't blame them. Again, they had that one little run where they got a few rounds, but outside of that, it has been a sea of North.
Yeah, it's not really seemed like there's been that proper answer from forZe. If they can scrape together that 5th round, you know, that is a pretty comfortable place, all things considered. But we'll see if they can find a way to do so. I'm sure reflecting on what has worked, so we might actually see like an upper set piece or something again, as that was one of the more successful rounds that they ran. They have the opportunity to maybe go for a mini split if they use those 2 outside players for that, but it looks like they may be going down towards Secret here initially. Indeed, Kirby will be able to hit a stepping as he is close by T-Red.
And MSL also got on top of Red and might even be able to backstab them in Secret, which, again, it's different looks from North. Like, MSL's been aggressive. He's been passing towards Heaven with the op, and now he's in a position to backstab Secret. So it's given forZe a lot of different looks to have to worry about as they approach this outside control, which, I mean, it's just basics for Nuke. It's like taking mid control on Mirage or something like that. Like, it's something you just kind of have to have as a staple. And look at this. MSL has actually creeped into a different position with the AWP. Now he's watching a ramp.
Kirby will go down for a 1-for-1, but the trade is there from Gade and from the hot position, ready to strike at a moment's notice. And now the challenge AZ, that's never gone well for them except this one time. There we go, headshots found. Now Meza able to pick off Cajun, asking questions of that trophy room. And now Gade has a lot of work on his hands, doesn't like what he sees in the vent position, has to back away, leaving the burden to be shouldered by MSL in the ramp position. And he's also unsure what's going on. Gade back down the vents though, catches split off guard, and that changes everything.
Oh man, now Mauser has a chance to really get a nice backstab in here on Gade, but Gade actually shifts back to the side, catches face crack, and now he's prepared. Almazer, though, is actually going to plant this bomb towards upper. He's going to get the plant due to CT positioning, but he still must win a post-plant 1v2. Spots one in the vent, is trying to challenge, but this is giving time for the other CT to get into position this whole time.
Gade's just harassing. Oh my god, he's so annoying. What? Okay, all right. I thought that was from Gade for a second.
Nah, it was all a clever plan, Dan.
Wow.
A plan to get North to 11 rounds. A big half from the Danes to jump off to a start maybe towards those winners.
Yeah.
No, are you a rootin' tootin' cowboy, Dan?
No, I don't think I can. No, that's not really my thing.
So? Are you not a blazing, cattle riding cowboy?
It's you know, I'm very British, so I can't relate to anything you're talking about.
I don't know if you can quite pull that one off. I feel like that's more me over here. Anyway, I'll get away
over
from
here.
that draw. Yeah.
Well, Jerry's going to open things up with some beautiful pistol action there, taking down 2. But it's a pistol round. Anything is possible here. Is Jerry? He wants more. He's hungry, and MSL is going to deny him. But the trade is there. But Cajun and AZ is still alive.
Oof. That's a tough one. forZe were looking like they were ahead all the way through, but now it's starting to slip through their fingers, Dan. It's back into a 2 versus 2. AZ has a great position as well, backstabbing through Heaven. As Cajun B still holds on the lobby, they can pitch this upper bomb site here. There is one CT that could be the problem, hiding next to the vent, but AZ makes short work of him. Now it's all on Z-Power. I can't believe this round fell away from forZe. It was looking so good at the start.
It was, but they wanted to keep the aggression up, and that was, I think, part of the problem. They gave opportunities to North, and they introduced variants, and now it's going to be a tough one for Z-Power. We know that he has the skill to do it. He does not have a kit on him at the moment. I'm not sure if there is one on the way for him to collect. I don't think that's likely. However, he is close enough anyway, so the kit's not a huge deal. He's going to have to kill both of these players regardless. So difficult, this angle. Coming in from above, though, he might get a few shots off here. There finds the headshot onto AZ. He takes a bit of damage. Cajun B shuts it down. Great triple kill from Cajun, lurking around the lobby at first and closing things down. And North, they really put forZe in a bad spot after winning that pistol.
Indeed, they did. Again, it was the over-aggression. You know, just trying to push through, trying to keep leveraging an advantage. It was MSL first who stopped them, and then Cajun B finishes the job with those 3 kills. Up 12-4 now is going to be North. We do see some upgraded pistols, an SMG, and a scout in play for forZe. See if they can't pose a threat early.
Going for it on the upper bomb side here. They will expose the force buy of forZe, but forZe are actually holding on to things here. Flit able to escape with the C side. He needs a reload maybe sooner than later. Position is gained by the T side on the upper bomb side, and the fragging will continue. And they'll make quick work of forZe. North looking good, 13-4, and forZe, they spent some money there. They can't buy in this round.
Exactly. That's going to give North perhaps a free 14th round, unless you're just going to keep force buying. You know, that's really the kind of the tough call you have to make now if you're forced. I feel like you don't have a choice but to just go for a lighter buy. So yeah, they get upgraded pistols with no armor, no utility.
I actually think that, you know, if they did force buy, I don't think anyone could criticize them. I think when you're down this many rounds,
yeah, exactly,
it's going to be hard no matter what.
Yep.
And we'll see if they can do anything in this with what they have here, which is very little. A Deagle, a P250, a couple of 5.7s.
Especially on a map like Nuke too, right? Because you can get away with like SMGs and shotguns, which cost less money, and you're going to get a lot of close quarters situations. So definitely could pull it off, but they decide better of it. Just the pistols are able to exchange some good damage here, but now we're starting to see North clamp down and finish things off of this round at least. All Almaz are now.
It's good decisiveness from North so far, I have to say. You know, they feel very decisive. When they make a decision, they move as a team, good spacing, good coordination, and there's no second guessing anything. And that's good to see a team that has intentions like that.
It does help when you have an in-game leader, Dan.
It does.
It might be shocking to some people to hear that, but you typically, if you have an in-game leader on your team, you'll be able to make better decisions. Provided that they're a good in-game leader. I mean, I think I had to specify that, I suppose.
So far it's working out for North, but this is the only best chance of forZe. You know, they've got that AWP in the hands of C Power, full M4s for utility more or less, and a kid on face crack. So they've got pretty much everything they need. But look how fast the positioning outside is for North, 135, and they've already got AZ just threatening heaven.
Again, they're trying to give AZ some of those star aggressive roles and trying to see if they can unlock it a bit more. He has been able to unlock a lot of map space, but unfortunately the kills are going the way of forZe. We do have face crack looking for more. Z Power catching AZ, who was kind of sneaking around. Now Gade will try his bet. Oh, that's awkward. Able to slip the shot, though, but is going to get caught by face crack, who is positioned at another angle. So it is going to be finally forZe, where they need it around most, are able to put one out there, but they still have a long road to travel.
It's just so crazy because North can do so many crazy strats. They just need 2 rounds, so they can, you know, it's so fragile what forZe are working with. There's almost no margin for error. And if they were to lose this round, they can't really buy.
Right.
So if North, you know, actually this is the round to win for North to close this one out quickly. They go with a slower approach to begin with. We might see that there's delayed outside smokes as we typically do. Some initial door harassment, also very typical in the default on this map. And I'm sure we'll see those outside smokes coming in shortly.
Absolutely. C Power, though, until those smokes are laid down, I was looking to see if he can't take some real estate or maybe even catch someone taking a peek. Not going to be the case, though. North discipline, just sitting back. Now the smokes will come out, but Jerry is in these stairs. And Molly does come out, but he's able to do some nade damage on his way out of there. Just chip damage, though. Nothing that is too pivotal, but still may be of some assistance later on down the road. Maybe that one less bullet you have to shoot.
Face crack will drop off the hub position, looking to engage with Flit. They will defend Squeaky. Cajun making a solo effort there. And AZ once again trying to get that real estate, trying to get that ground towards heaven. And it's very strong if you can get up there. And it looks like they may just be able to do this. I'm not sure if forZe are prepared to have this position open. And this could just kill the round.
Yeah, this is a real problem. Oh, wow. Flip, though, with the response. Absolutely pivotal play there from him. Still in trouble, though, as we are seeing North with a couple of members remaining. But they do have the bomb in their position in heaven, man. That's a real problem for North.
Oh, my God. How they can't get to that unless they boost up from the hot position. And there's no way they're going to be doing that with Jerry lurking around. So El Maze is going to just completely destroy them in the heart. So forZe, they once again pull it off, and it seems like North are really trying to get AZ
I can't wait
into
to
the
see
heaven
those flip
position,
shots
man.
Again. I cannot wait to see those flip shots again, dude. Those are so nice.
That's why the Krieg on the CT side is pretty disgusting.
Exactly.
Okay, so forZe, they're creating some kind of stability within their economy. It's happening. Maybe the confidence will start to arrive for forZe as well. They are hitting some good shots now. We saw it happen to Gen G. They picked up 10 in a row. We can't put it past forZe to be able to do the same.
And if it feels like it's one of the maps you're going to do, it's like CT Nuke. That's one of the maps that maybe you can get it done. Flit continuing to put the numbers on the board. And Jerry will dot the I's and cross the T's of that one. So 14-7. forZe starting to mount at least a challenge to North. I wouldn't call it a comeback just yet. Need a few more rounds before I feel like North's going to start to sweat.
All right then. One more. That's the name of the game for forZe. One more.
Oh, look close.
Yeah, that was really close. North's trying to be annoying with this utility. forZe staying active outside. See Power looking for information. Sees just a shoulder. That's all though. Not too much else from North. They're much slower moving around for them.
Yeah, looks like they are setting up some smokes for outside, though. Maybe not the complete wall, but just a little bit of something out there to have some presence. But now, actually, they will go ahead and bring 4 players over. The full smoke wall is in effect. Just Kierby kind of lurking behind inside lobby.
I thought he was going to
Is he going to pull the trigger?
I thought he was going to do it.
Anyway, in the meantime, North has taken control of these back halls. They still have some utility left as well, so we could be seeing some type of hit here commencing very shortly.
Very tentative stuff for these two teams at the moment. Jerry looks like the point of contact. He knows he can move forward. Looks for the second. The follow-up is not there for him, though. Almeza might be able to close it down. He does clean things up nicely, and that is a problem. The bomb is now lost. So North have to strike, and AZ will be the one to do so. Able to win the battle against Almeza. He can move the round forwards with now the possession once again of the bomb, but it's a 3v3. Time is of the essence here. The bomb will get planted, but do they get time for post-plant positions? What a shot there from Power. The trade is there from Gabe, but once again, Flit with the trade of his own, leaving everything on Kierby.
Yeah, and I don't think he's going to be able to stop the spawn from the defuse. He'll try to get there fast. He can actually does stop it, but, I mean, FaZe cracking the perfect position to trade it right on back and plenty of time to defuse. So an 8th round for forZe. That is now, I believe, 4 rounds in a row. And so it's happening, man. That they're creeping in on North now. Not, again, quite on their heels just yet, but getting those baby steps.
Yeah, absolutely. They're surviving. They're surviving right now. It's a battle of survival, and they're able to pass some of these very pressured, very desperate situations and still keep coming out with the wins and hitting some shots. Confidence is likely rising. They still have enough economy to take these losses, and this is another economy building round for forZe. They need to make sure they don't lose any players in this one. They hear the running outside. They know that the big rotation is coming down that lower, towards that lower bomb site, and they just have to stop this dead in its tracks now.
Uh-oh.
Oh, this could get dangerous here. The Power is in the open. He's going to get traded. That's the North now in the hands of the T side. Oh, dear.
Yeah, this is actually a real problem now. Things are starting to get a little bit scary for forZe, especially with those 2 kills coming in. This is not the way you want things to end if you're forZe. You were winning some rounds in a row. You were getting comfortable, and now North are just running it down your throat with a fast outside play that it seemed like forZe were surprisingly unprepared for, Dan. Like, no one was there. You would have thought that with the smoke wall down and the spam through the smoke that we were seeing from forZe, that they would kind of the expectation that that was a threat, but their rotator was Z-Power with an op, and that is definitely not what you need with a bunch of pistols running around.
Yeah, I thought that that forZe had the info that the running was there, like there was a player close enough to hear it, or that it looked like it was very telegraphed. So, yeah, as you say, very surprising the rotation wasn't there, and that could cost them absolutely everything. And once again, it looks like a fast movement towards the outside, and they catch the Power again. And another challenge comes in. It is shut down. Everything's getting shut down. Jerry with a nice double. That does even the situation up slightly. It slows things down enough here to give Flit and Almeza something to work with.
That is so tough if you're forZe. You know what he was trying to do? He thought that incendiary or that Molotov was going to come in, and he wanted to get in that corner. We saw that last map from Automatic. It's definitely the right maneuver, but unfortunately they kept running. They didn't stop. There was no ceasing of pushing from North, and so they just overwhelm the outside area, good for several frags. Now they're up in a 3-on-2. AZ is vulnerable, though, so that could maybe give forZe a foothold back into this. And now Mezer actually has a pretty good little spot here. It's all going to come down to timing, though, and unfortunately was not looking the right way at the right time. Kierby was on point, though. That leaves it all to Flit. 1 versus 3. Lots of time left on the clock for North to play around with as well, so they can think things through and make the right decision.
I like this from Flit, too. He's gambling here on the lower bomb site, and you have to take a gamble, and he's going to take the correct one, but you can see that the smokes here will create a lot of safety for the north side. They don't really have to worry about any choke points at this point. Flit will move his way up to control to find out that it's smoked. He has to just wait it out. And what's worse is the glass is there. He can't sneak through. It's intact. As soon as he makes contact, his position is going to be likely shut down. And if he tries to move out of the glass, if he takes an engagement, he's in the open. There is really nothing that's looking good here for Flit. He's forcing the hand, and he will get taken down 16-8. A smooth, easy ride for North.